Good morning, everyone. Eric here from Nomadic Fanatic. Hope you guys are doing well. This is by far the warmest Christmas week I have ever experienced in my life. And it's not just me. Everyone in the South is like, this is great weather. It doesn't feel like Christmas. This is good weather. The Grinch stopped by this morning and changed my entire day. Yeah, this was a painful lesson. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will be uploading this video with some Connecten internet. Check out the video description below for unlimited high-speed internet. I take it with me on the road everywhere I go. This morning, while I was airing up the bus, the air brakes, I came around, looked at everything, came back inside, was still getting a warning indication on my TPMS sensors on my tires. And I thought, is it low pressure or something? But I looked at it, and it was reading zero PSI. With a temperature. Now, how do you have 0 PSI still reading 62 degrees? It was baffling because I've had this issue before where some of these sensors aren't reading correctly and it says no air pressure. You got to unplug the TPMS cap, hold it out a little bit, and then plug it back in and then it activates. I actually came out here to the driver's side while the bus was warming up. This is the outside. This is the inner. I reached in to technically unscrew it, and I hit it, and then I went forward 4 inches, and I went, the heck? Reached back here, grabbed the inside dually, and I'm shaking it back and forth. Completely off the rim, completely off the bead. Holy cow. Holy cow, that was close. Now, I don't have AAA anymore. AAA actually canceled my membership once I tried to update my converted school bus. AAA does not service your school bus. And I know there's plenty of you out there thinking, Eric, you're wrong. I have AAA and I have a bus. Okay, wonderful, good for you. I will send you a Christmas cookie. Let me know how it goes when you try to get service with your AAA RV roadside assistance with your converted bus, because they won't touch it because it's not an RVIA manufactured motorhome. Might want to look into that. I'm not going to go on and on because there's already so many people that disagree with me. Just wait till you have a problem and try to use it. They only service vehicles that are RVIA approved, built at the manufacturer as a recreational vehicle. Anyways, so I need to come up with another plan. I think CoachNet might be able to service converted buses. I don't know about Good Sam's, but anyway. So I could only think of one thing to do: call roadside assistance and pay out of pocket. If you don't know, when Love's comes out with their little truck and compressor and they work on tires on the side of the highway, most of those commercial trucks have insurance or a package that includes it. Out of pocket, they told me it's going to be $395 just to come out and service you, and then the tire is going to be extra. I'm like, I got no choice. I'm stuck here. They came out. They could not fix it, and they could not get a tire. Took my money, drove off, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Yeah, that was rather confusing. And I said, what should I do? And he said, run it. Drive it down to the nearest tire shop in person. Bring it in the bay. They probably got a used tire in there. Drive it on 3 dualies? Yeah, just don't go too fast and be careful. A 27,000-pound bus with a blown tire you want me to drive? Look, like I always say, don't do what I do. But I didn't have any options, guys. Nobody was gonna come out and help me. So I put the 4-way flashers on and drove 9 miles down the road to the nearest tire center. Got in there and I told him what was going on. He said, we don't have any used tires. We got brand new tires. We'll mount it and install it for $800, 1 tire. Now, guys, I've been warned. I've been warned that schoolie tires, semi-truck tires are expensive. The steer tires are different than the rear tires. The steer tires are more expensive than the rear tires. But being as these tires are only 2 years old, they're all 2023 tires, about to be 3 years old actually, I figured that was not something I needed to worry about. I don't know why I had the blowout. I don't know why that inside tire went out, but So $800 plus $395, we'll round that up to $1,200 for one brand new, see that one? Brand spanking new tire. She's pretty. I mean, I've got 35 miles on her now, but yeah, they're expensive. Bus tires are expensive. Now, I want to go back because I showed you guys my Halo View system with the TPMS sensors. Had it not been for that, you know, a lot of people just kind of walk around their vehicles and look, and you can easily just see. I don't think I would have caught it. I don't think that I would have noticed that this outer tire was strained a little bit more than usual, puffed a little more, because there was no pressure being put on the, I don't think I would have caught it. And that morning, I had not planned on getting my tire whacker and whacking all the tires with the bat to see. So that TPMS sensor saved my butt, telling me that there's zero air. And that was the key. 0 PSI, but 62-degree temperature. If that sensor wasn't reading right and I had to wait, it would have said 0 temperature also. So today, nothing worked as I planned, but we got through another tricky obstacle. Kept my head straight, figured things out on my own, 100% on my own. Once again, I'm starting to do a little better, being a little more proactive and not panic, but problem solve the current situation. We can worry about canceling reservations and telling whoever I was going to be with tonight that I'm not going to make it, but let's solve this problem today, and then tomorrow we'll work on whatever else we need to work on. So I am back on the road, but life continues to be an adventure, okay? Let me make some notes here real quick and figure things out, and I'll get back to you here shortly. Merry Christmas, by the way, guys. Merry Christmas, coming up in a couple days, all right. I think the kiddies are ready for Christmas. I didn't tell them that we had to save a little bit this year, so rather than getting new presents to pack into their stockings, I just got the broom and went underneath the couch and the refrigerator, and I filled up a whole bag. There was a lot of cat toys. A lot of cat toys. I'm going to have to build a damper around the recliner back there and around the fridge. I'm going to have to build a barrier. I mean, or I guess I could just dig them out, you know, like once a week, just pull everything out. But yeah, we're not really doing a big Christmas this year or anything. I am going to go do a potluck with some friends. Of course, I'm missing Diana. She's working on her own stuff at the house, and more on that later, because we're still working on all the plans for the channel in 2026, the changes and stuff like that. So if it seems like I'm not putting out regular videos or content, it's because my mind is elsewhere. I'm focused on the future more right now, and I think that'll make a lot more sense when it's unveiled in January. But there's a lot of tricky components in getting everything set up and making sure that everything's working right. So I'm going to have to pack up the tree here in a couple days. I usually put it up pretty early, but I take it down the day after Christmas. I really do. Let me show you outside though. Oh, it's bright. The sun's just about to set over there. That's why it's so low and in my eyes. Clarification. I'll probably put an asterisk in the other one, but AAA RV roadside assistance, it can work for any vehicle, but specifically, and if you call them up and ask them, the RV Plus plan, and then they have a more expensive Premier RV plan, those two that are RVs, even though this bus is titled as an RV, it literally says recreational vehicle on my title. They will tell you over the phone, and there are YouTube videos where people have had service come out and the technician says, I don't see your RVIA sticker. Is this a nationally branded manufactured RV? No, it's a conversion bus, but it's an RV. I can't. Insurance-wise, we just can't do it. I have to see that sticker. So there's people that sell that stupid little sticker, that little RVIA sticker, and then people put them on their buses. But yeah, so those two plans won't work for schoolies. I cannot get a straight answer out of Good Sam, but I did want to update you that CoachNet, specifically in their frequently asked questions page, they do service schoolies, which is a commercial bus that's been turned into an RV. There is an option for that, and you can put your weight, your length, and all the legit, you have to give them all the information so they know what kind of wrecker to bring out in case they need to tow your big butt off the road and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to go with CoachNet. Schoolie forums and everything says that they are the one that has no questions asked and they actually show up. Okay, so I think it's like $300 a year, but that $300 once would have paid for the entire road service of the service guy coming out that couldn't do anything, or a tow. If you ever have to get towed in one of these big ass buses, that tow is probably going to be $2,000 to $2,500 out of pocket. So what's 300 bucks, you know? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna fix it. This is my tire whacker, so I have decided, moving forward, every day before I get on the road, we're gonna whack these tires. And we're listening for a familiar tone. Sounds good. Oh, don't hit the bus, Eric. But yeah, as well as using my TPS sensor, I'm always going to use this from now on after that incident. Yep, we're good, okay? Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas, guys. I appreciate you all sticking with it and sticking with me here, changing things up for the 2026 year. Happy New Year coming up. I'll tune back in again before the end of the year. So you guys enjoy your time with your family, celebrating and everything, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye, guys.